So recently I've had a lot of new students come in. I've had people wanting to just get some info on gear, where to start. And I'm just going to share what I found that works for me and that I've had for years. And it just shows that, you invest a little bit up front, and 7 years later, I still have my original gear and it's surviving. So I'm going to go through this. And for kickboxing, Muay Thai, where to start. First of all, I'm going to tell all my ladies to get gloves that are at the max 16 ounces, at the minimum 14 ounces. I know that you want to be tempted to get something small and light because you feel that that's all you need, but we're learning that we're not wrapping our hands like traditional boxing in my class. We're not taking the time to lace up anything. So what we need are really easy on kind of stuff. So what I got and have used over the years are these quick wraps. Okay. The thing with this one is they do run small. This is a small medium, and I still am feeling like I need to pull out the seams on the inside. So quick wraps like this, traditional boxing wraps you can get. Just make sure that you know how to wrap your hands correctly with them, and you wear them underneath your gloves. So this provides padding for the glove, and you just have a little bit more structure in your wrist and in your knuckles, and it will fill in your gloves. So if your fingers are moving around in your gloves, you can hurt yourself, your wrist can buckle, and while you're developing technique and all that good stuff, you just need your hands to be safe and to be able to handle sustaining a fitness lifestyle that includes kickboxing or boxing. So if you're not going to a traditional gym, like most of my people aren't for boxing, we're more like MMA. We do Muay Thai, we do Jiu-Jitsu, we do it all. And we're not spending, the first 20 minutes of our warm-up, before our warm-up, wrapping our hands. We're just not doing that. So a quick way are these quick wraps, okay? Everything I'm going to talk about, I'm linking below because these are just what works for me, okay? So this would be my recommendation. Quick wraps for sure. And then some gloves. Ladies, do not go lower than 14 ounces. I started with these gloves 7 years ago, and they're still solid. Fairtex, I prefer Fairtex. My coach told me to go with Fairtex. I went to Thailand with Fairtex, came home. They still are solid, and it's like a legit, authentic Muay Thai brand. And I did get it on Amazon, and they'll ship out all to you, even if it's coming from Thailand. It might take a little bit, but it gets to you, and the stuff is good. So these, I've gotten comfortable boxing with 16-ounce gloves later on as I built shoulder endurance, and I feel better with my hands with the 16 ounces. I know if you plan on sparring, some places require that you have a decent amount of ounces. We're not too picky at our gym, but I do know that if my partner had 16 ounces, I would be way more comfortable than somebody popping in with 12-ounce kids gloves like these. Because when you have someone come in with some kids gloves that are cheaper, this is what happens over a couple years. It's like these things, the material just starts deteriorating. They work, but your hands are going to pay for it. Your partner's going to pay for it if you are sparring. And some people just straight up might not allow you to to partner spar with such thin and terrible gloves. Okay, this is another one that's a little cheaper. I know the person who bought them because they're like, oh, I can wash them, which seems nice for ladies. We want to wash them and keep everything clean. The reality is that those are good too, but again, your hands are going to pay for it. And if you're not wrapping your hands while using these kind of smaller, thinner gloves, lightweight gloves, then you might have, a problem with your knuckles, with your wrist, with your thumb inside there. Just be aware that if you go cheap and lighter, you are going to pay for it. So I like to remind everybody that we are going for at minimal quick wraps and 14-ounce gloves, okay? As you move on, if you get more into sparring, or if you just want to wear some kind of protection while going on the bag for kicks, there's little shin sleeves like these that protect the top of your foot. This part goes over the top. You just slip it on like a big sock. And this will just give you a little padding over your shin. If you're feeling like you're getting beaten up by the bag that you're kicking, this is a good way to be able to put more power behind your kicks and not walk away bruised after every session, or wear it while you're beginning. And then you can start to take them off as you feel comfortable, as your technique gets better. But these are great. There's a Venom brand that I really like. And the cool thing about this one, this is Combat Sports, which is good too. But the Venom one had a little Velcro strap that went around the top that supports the thing from sliding down, which was nice. Okay, so then that might be all you need for just stepping into a class. Gloves, wraps, and maybe shin pads. Not necessary, but you could go there if your feet are just taking a toll and your shins are taking a toll and walking away bruised and you have to go to work, and that's not good. So moving on, if you get into sparring, this is what I've kind of come up with as my go-to, okay? So I'm gonna wear knee pads because kneeing a bony elbow actually hurts me more than it hurts the person's elbow half the time. So wearing those and then wearing my shin guards is good. And some people will wear these kind of sleeves and then put these thicker shin guards over. These are not necessary for my class that we're doing. But if we want to move into partner sparring, then you're going to have to get something like this. Okay. And then these are Venom. I've had them forever. And yeah, the print's coming off, but they work fine. These are elbow pads. So you put those over your elbows and you got your shin guards on. And this is a headgear that I did get. I'm going to look and see if they have something similar to this on Amazon, but this is one of my souvenirs from Thailand, was this brand and this headgear. And without meaning to, I just ended up with all black and white gear, which was kind of cool. But headgear is good. The thing is with kickboxing, I know some headgear has like a bar here, like if it's a boxing one. I remember when I first started, I got more of a traditional boxing headgear, and the bar that came out in front, I couldn't see kicks coming. And so this is something that I like. There's nothing coming out and like distorting your vision looking down. And that's something to keep in mind. This, I mean, ladies in my class, you don't need headgear. And if you want headgear, you can always use mine and you can go at it with the headgear on. But that's just something, if you're looking into headgear, get something for kickboxing that doesn't obstruct your vision when you're looking down. Okay. And then lastly, I would say, is a mouthpiece. I wanted to show you guys that. This one, okay, so you can see, originally I got a red line mouth guard, which worked fine, but I found one that's more comfortable and more low profile, which is this Sisu, okay? And this one, I mean, it comes in all kinds of colors, but this thing, it comes flat and you boil it and you bite into it and it gives you directions, and you can it's pretty forgiving. You can do it a couple times if you get it wrong. But this is a boil and bite. You boil it to soften the material, and then you form it around your teeth when it's not too hot, but warm enough to be moldable. So that's that. This, you might not think I need a mouth guard. Okay, and then red line will be the other one I'll link because it was a good one. It's another boil and bite one, but it was definitely more heavy. So it's like really good for if you're gonna go for sparring. That was best. This one is almost good. The Sisu one is almost good just for heavy hitting the bag. I know for myself, you can hit the bag, and when you hit it really hard, you kind of like have a little bit of a rebound effect. And you wearing a mouth guard, being able to bite down while you do your heavy bag work is actually super helpful. So if you have issues, if you notice your jaw hurts, or if your teeth are bouncing on themselves when you're doing your bag work at class, having a mouth guard isn't completely nerdy. You could wear that. And this mouth guard I actually use for jiu-jitsu too, just because I've chipped my tooth doing dumb drills, or not dumb drills, but doing drills and chipping my tooth in a dumb way, not even like fighting anybody, but I've chipped my tooth just going through rear naked choke drills with my partner, and I just bite down weird and like I chip my tooth. It's terrible. But that and these little sleeves, the Shock Doctor knee sleeves for me, for jiu-jitsu, are another way just to kind of prevent injury and keep my lifestyle sustainable. I did have an accident where I dislocated my kneecap, and to my not surprise, it happened. Okay, so these are mediums. Okay, these are mediums. I'm 5'6", 118 pounds, and they fit me perfectly. The small was too tight. So if you are a bigger bone woman, or if you're a man, you definitely don't even want to be looking at medium. Read the size chart in all of these things, even the hand wraps. Read the size chart, take time to measure to get the best fit for you. But these are good just to keep stability around the knee. I feel it keeps my kneecap where it should be. And then it just reminds me too, even just having a little pressure on my knees, it brings my mind to remember to think about my knees when I'm rolling jiu-jitsu. I don't wear these kickboxing. I don't need it for that. But since my accident, I just been a little bit more proactive on keeping the knee sleeves on. So I hope this helps you. I'm linking all of my stuff in the description below. This is just kind of a basic beginner, mid-range type of equipment list that has literally lasted me almost 7 years now. And not this stuff, minus the jiu-jitsu stuff, because you can update your mouth guard, you'll lose it, you'll have to get another one. And all of the boxing shin guards, you know, gloves, hand wraps, they last. So going for a little bit more upfront is worth it, in my opinion. And yeah, I hope it helps.